Hi, welcome to the Stockinette Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as J Knitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 210. Are you feeling short?
I was feeling very short. I was just getting ready.
I'm trying to think tall thoughts. Tall.
I feel like I'm in a deficit, but anyway.
I'm my spot is normally closer to that arm, so that would be like a Jeremy made a divot type spot, or maybe a child. Quentin has been all about vacuuming lately.
Okay.
I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to tell him that it's bad. But he wanted to vacuum the couch this weekend. So maybe he put the divot in. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When your 4-year-old wants to vacuum the couch, you say, okay. How have you been?
Good.
We took a unscheduled non-record week last week because we were busy doing retreat prep. And we are still very busy doing retreat prep, but we've got some wonderful local folks that are helping us with it. That works too.
Yeah.
So
some of it's still out there, so I need it to come back.
Well, I'm just thanking them.
Yeah.
I'll be the kind words, and then you be but you have to bring it back.
The big stick.
You can't
keep it.
You can't keep it. You must bring it back. And then we both went to YarnOver this past weekend, which was a ever so brief respite of retreat planning. I kept on telling people who were like, wow, you're like in the throes of it, right? I'm like, yeah. And then years past, it's been like the freak out is after YarnOver. And this year, it's like, no, we moved up the date 2 weeks. So freak out was supposed to be 2 weeks ago. But I think we've got all the kind of longer term stuff nailed down. It's kind of like in the wedding analogy, the flowers have been ordered and the cake has been ordered and the dress has been bought and we've had the venue for forever, so yeah, we're doing good. Yep, just sort of stressful.
Got a lot more calls to make and a lot more
irons
things
in the fire.
Yeah, things to nail down right now. But
did you enjoy yourself at YarnOver and
I did.
The pre-YarnOver shopping?
Yes. It ended up being more of a brewery tour. We started our day kind of late so we could both work out. And then we went to, this is Karen Balke and I, we went to Fluvog first. Pizza Luce, which is a couple blocks away, and then Fluvog. And tried on all the shoes. I swear the girl that helped me could testify that I tried on all the shoes. Okay, it wasn't every single pair, but it seemed like every other pair. And found some booty clog things that were really comfortable, and I'm giving them a go, and hopefully I love them. I mean, I do love them, but I haven't had much time to spend with them yet, so.
And they're still dating.
Yeah. Haven't married them yet. So then, after that, we went over to the Surly Brewery, and then we went to Athleta. Yeah, Athleta, and then just a little bit around a mall that was nearby, and then we went to Burning Brothers, which is Karen's gluten-free beer. So she was able to get anything and everything she wanted there. They had a food truck with gluten-free goodies in it, and
cool.
Yeah, and then when we were done, we headed back to the hotel, but only saw you briefly because it was like hello, goodbye. And then
so the keynote speaker for the Minnesota Knitters Guild, which is this is their 30th year of YarnOver, was Meg Swanson, and she was delightful. She's the daughter of Elizabeth Zimmerman, and one of the she's continuing on the Schoolhouse Press. And so she just had she was just delightful. It wasn't like it wasn't a practiced or very scripted speech. but she spoke very, from the heart, and a lot of things that just made you chuckle, right? Like, I think I mentioned in front of you that I want to do this someday, but she had an Icelandic sweater that she had knit, and that had kind of gone through all the stages of, like, she wore it. It kind of became like more of a, like, cleaning the car type thing. Then it became a dog bed, and then eventually it was like so ragamuffin and gnarled and whatever that she went out into the woods and buried it.
The sweater is dead.
Back from whence it came. Yes. Okay. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. I want a story like that. Like, we should have like that sweater lived so long and so hard, and we, you give it a proper burial. And she is a woman after my own heart, because she said that she would rather cast on 300 stitches and work several inches and figure out that her gauge is wrong than knit a gauge swatch. And I'm like, amen, sister. Like, that's totally me. Like, I would much rather just get to knitting it and then realize that my gauge is totally off. And I mean, when I'm designing, I have to gauge swatch. It's part of the design process so that you can get the correct gauge. But when I'm knitting somebody else's pattern, I'll often, this should be about right.
Well, and you know yourself, right? So you grab the right needles and yarn and kind of go, yep. And then it surprises you every once in a while, but not very often.
Yep. Had a few people come up and say hello, and then there was the market. So we've got some market goodies that we can show off. The market for me was all about my bust. I was at Stephen V's wearing my breathing space, and he was commenting about, oh, and you must have done something different because the picture, it kind of cuts her right here. And I was like, yeah, I need all the help that I can get. It's like down, I need it underneath. He was like, well, honey, it worked. And I was like, are you saying that my boobs look nice? And Steve was like, I am. Like, well, thank you. So then I'm standing there, I'm talking to Amy of Darn It Anyway, and Amy Deachin comes up and is like holding her phone like this, and I'm like, are you taking a picture of me? She's like, yeah, I really like your sweater. And I was like, am I smiling? And she's like, oh, I didn't include your face. And I was like, my face is up here. and another, like, people were kind of looking at the sweater, and I was like, my face is up here. Yeah, but I was basically a walking model for that sweater.
Yeah, it was very bright.
Yes, it was. And as Corey pointed out, like, not everybody's colors.
Yeah.
So it was, the number of compliments that I got were kind of, not what you would expect. But yes, that was kind of the story of my market. My face is up here, guys. Lots of people asked me about your mom's wonderful bags, so I sent a lot of people to the Silver Shed USA. Actually had a gal come back and be like, I think I forgot it. Can I write it down? I was wearing my the print is Malabrigo.
It's a
Rasta.
Yeah, I believe it looks like a Rasta knit stockinette.
Mm-hmm. With pearls on the inside.
Yeah, with pearls on the inside.
My sling, my favorite, my slings. But yeah, those were my stories to tell about YarnOver. Did you have any market stories that you wanted to?
Not really. I hemmed and hawed about the baskets. They had the really pretty baskets, and I was thinking, like, oh, wouldn't that make a nice basket for blankets and stuff? And hemmed and hawed, and I think the basket I wanted from them was just the wrong tone. It was too light. I like a darker basket, and so I was like, okay, fine, not buying anything. Walked away, but ended up getting a few things, including a kit for a crocheted sheep. Like, yeah, I lost my dang mind. Yeah.
Hey, it was cute.
It was super cute, but like, when am I gonna make that and start that? I have like so many things going on, and I bought that kit. I mean, I know I bought other yarn, but sock yarn is just kind of like and I'll just but this kit, if I don't make it, it's where what am I to do with that cotton yarn? Anyway, I'm going to make it, but when is the key?
Big question.
They did include like an insert in there what the kit was for. Like, it didn't have the pattern in it, it just said what it was for. So I have all the information, and I did look her up. The sheep pattern, Shoop the sheep, super cute, crocheted flowers. I forget what they're called. South African flowers? African violet flowers. Maybe it's African violet flowers. Anyway, really cute, and she has like every animal, feels like. Like there's rhinoceros, so she's reshaped that flower. Like some parts of the animal have big flowers, and other parts of the animal have smaller flowers, and it all fits together. And there's a dragon and a frog out there that I'm like, I want to do those too. So I think I've stepped into it with the crocheting. If
sheep was your gateway drug to
I haven't started it yet, but right now I'm pattern shopping, I guess we'll say, with all the crocheted animals. But it's different because it's like granny squares, right? It's these African. It's different than just the other crocheted stuffed animals that I've seen. It's modular. I don't know, there's part of me that's into the modular thing right now, being able to knit some small thing and feel a sense of accomplishment, and like, I got one of the squares done, or I got one of the hexes done. And I think with all the busyness going on with the retreat, that's about all I can handle. So it would be nice.
The perfect project for the perfect situation.
But but you'll see in enabling what I fell in love with while I was there, and that is all.
Okay. I wanted to briefly parade the fabulousness again of the April self-striping.
Oh, yeah.
So this is Bijou Basin Ranch. It is 85% yak down and 15% nylon. Super soft, self-striping yellows and grays, dyed up by Mode Knit. That is Annie Modissette's, or Modissette's. I told her I was going to, or Modisette. It is Modisette. And then I was like, is Mode, because your name is pronounced Modisette? And she said, no, it's Modisette. Mode sounds French and fabulous.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. Because mode in French means stylish. Is that right? We had a whole conversation about it.
I don't take French.
Okay. Super soft, super stripy, wonderful April self-striping sponsor. And then the Suburban Stitchers sent this beautiful wedge. It's got a bunny and some flowers, very April-tastic. So that's Diane, and she's got suburbanstitcher.com and suburbanstitcher.etsy.com, and on Ravelry she is DBB Stitch, Dub Stitch. So, bag, yarn, April, yay!
Okay.
And we only are just showing it off now at the beginning. And it's, seems like April's all but gone.
Yeah.
We need to You
get
had a birthday,
better.
and Dexter's got a birthday coming up. I just want to sow this seed out there for birthdays. Instead of bringing treats in Dexter's classroom, you bring a family favorite book, and the parents read it to the class. And if you're so inclined, you can donate it to the class. So we got the Khalif Brown book that has the Kansas City octopus. And while I was out on Amazon buying it, they have music inspired by the book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I just thought it was so cool. So, like, they read the poem, and that's part of the song, but then somebody came up with the tune that was the backlay of it. We are going to be reviewing Masterpiece Knits. This is by the fantabulous Dragonfly Fibers. You could probably see them at Rhinebeck. They're at a lot of Stitches events. And I knit my winter wheat out of their single ply sock. But they sent us this book, which we will be reviewing. And then, lucky you guys, look at this beautifulness. The yarn is the, I think the D is silent. The Ginny, instead of Diginy, sock, which is their 80-10-10 MCN.
Cashmere.
Yeah.
Doesn't quite feel like it's cashmere, but maybe that's because it's skeined really tight.
Yeah, yep. And the Sugar Shack colorway, which is this wonderful dark, over-dyed yellows and reds and blues. And green. The dark side's showing. Yep, and green. So, thank you to them. We will be reviewing and giving away. This is the Sugar Shack colorway is for the Sugar Shack pullover. Tunic. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, you pull over a tunic too, right?
Yeah, you do. But tunic implies more length.
Ooh, yes. Lengthy. And then we were going to mention that next week we will be reviewing CC Almond's new Coffee with CC sock book, Socktastic.
Yeah, and we've had it for a while for review, but I wanted to make sure that you all knew that they are doing their second annual retreat.
Ooh, wow.
And that was the Geeky Puffin Knitpalooza. And that's November 10th through the 13th in the UK. I think it was
50 miles outside of London.
Yeah. I thought I would know it. Farnham. Just ham.
Farnham.
Farnham. And Surrey.
You can laugh at our horrible mispronunciations of other languages.
Yeah.
Or it's the same language, English, but other locales. Other locales. Yeah. Yeah. We're just.
But they have They have 4 fabulous designers that will be teaching classes, as well as a marketplace. So go out to the Googles, and we'll probably have a linky-loo as well.
Make it a destination,
yeah.
Or if you're over in the UK and you're like, I'm sick of these people talking about their retreat, I can't go. Here's one that's close to you.
Exactly. So yeah, Geeky Puffin Knitpalooza.
November 10th through the 13th.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you know what? I like hearing about other people's retreats. So if anybody else wants to send me... Now, I don't want to be deluged. But, this is really interesting. There's one in the UK that I could go to. Is there one in France? Is there one in Australia? Tell me. I want to know.
She wants to dream and vicariously live through you.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's one on the Eiffel Tower. All right, that is all the administrati. That is fit to be administrated that I had written down. So, FOs.
Yeah. So far away. Doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore? I made 2 little minis for my mini exchange at the retreat. So I have a zombie weeb, a little mini weeb, and a gnome. This is Moshi Moshi Land, and then this is mine. I put it, his instructions are with the regular size weeb. So if you buy one, you get the other. Yeah, it's a 2-for-1. And then that is it for finished objects.
Okay.
They were quick and easy and felt like I had accomplished something that wasn't retreat adjacent, I guess. Enjoyable for the retreat.
Okay. I continued on my pair of socks a week in 2016 resolution, or it wouldn't be. I didn't really set it as a resolution. I stumble into these things. I've knit 3 pairs of socks and I'm in week 3 of the year, and I could do that. I could make it a thing. So this is the Ms. Zombie colorway from Sun Valley Fibers. It was wonderful to see them on Saturday as well. Good call on making them just stockinette. I think about the time that I wrapped these up is when things kind of hit in high gear, and it was nice. I didn't curse past Megan for deciding to make a stockinette sock.
Okay.
That, and this colorway just wanted to be very, I think it looks like electricity is flowing through the sock when I look at it. Like, it's electric.
Yeah, I definitely have been contemplating a stockinette plain sock lately. So I'm going to go in and look for some of my variegated and just cast on a plain old sock. Sounds like fun. Yeah,
this is the, I put the Spacious OMG heel in it, and I'm good to go. I almost bought Mr. Zombie, which is this exact same colorway except with green, bright green instead of bright red, or bright pink. Goodness, bright red. And it, but I decided I could wait till ZK because I probably wasn't going to get that on the needles because I was already knitting things for the boys.
Oh, I did the exact same thing when I was at the marketplace. If you are coming to our retreat and I did not buy from you, that's because I was making mental lists. Like I want that, but I can wait. Like Gritting Gargle had that new BFL silk base, and I was like, I want that. I know Megan wants that, but I'll wait. I'm gonna wait and buy it at our retreat.
Because that's the exact same put up as the Beach Please. So I was like, oh, I could knit it one. No, stop. Not only will you not knit it before the retreat, but you should just buy it at ZK, and then there will be less of it sitting there staring at you.
Yes.
And then I am, for my son, so it really did get hectic. I've now gone to you have small feet, you get socks. But it is his birthday week. And he picked this out. And so this is yarn that I got from Webb's back in the day when I was buying yarn by the lowest cost per yard. That said, Farmanit did say that this was a really good base, that she really liked it at the time. So this is Nashua Knits Best Foot Forward. And it's kind of got a, kind of like the Arnie and Carlos, it's got like a checkered section. I think it gets checkered when it's at a bigger circumference than this is, because this is for my son's little small foot. But really fun colors, and I'm hoping to be able to get some matching socks for him and his brother. I, for the first time, because I knew I was going to be away from him, did little foot cutouts. This is actually Quinn's foot cutout, and it worked to a T.
Yep.
Like, I came home, I put it on, and it looked like it was made for him. Which makes sense, because this is standing in as him, right? But like, at a time it was like, oh, like, look at that, it fits, and I didn't have to try it on you 50 times.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ellie's got one, Quinn's got one. I need to do one for Jeremy because I always get the eye roll when I want him to try things on. But his is more of an arch issue as well, to make sure that it's going over his really thick arch. But I thought it was funny because if you've ever seen a picture of my son, or you've ever seen my son in real life, he always has his socks pulled up to like his nipples, basically. I mean, like, they are just, and he's constantly tugging on them, and he has really tall socks. So I brought it home, and I didn't have the ribbing done, and I had him try it on, and he's like, Mom, you should have ended that sock a long time ago. I was like, what? You like really tall socks, Dexter? But apparently I should have ended it a long time ago. But he is getting large feet. Those look pretty big. Yeah, for a little boy sock. So, but yep. And then, yeah, those are my finished objects. 2 pair of socks. They're super interesting. 'Tis the time of year. It's the most wonderful time. All right, you've got work in progress. That gray is really showing some of that, now that it's plain stockinette. I noticed the kind of darker bits popping out, like more of the
browning.
Yeah, the what would you call that? Rust.
Yeah.
More of the rust in that steel.
So yeah, I have started the ribbing along the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that I've started it short, but I know that superwash tends to grow, and this will grow, so I'm just kind of thinking I don't want it to grow too much longer.
Mm-hmm.
So it was stopped about an inch. Well, it depends. Like, you'd kind of flatten it out and you'd make sure that it was perfect, and then you'd see that it was short, and then you'd go like, do this again.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, okay, it's at the right number. So it is short because I had to re-smooth to get it to the right number.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, nope, that's long enough, because I know that once this gets wet and it gets blocked, it's going to be huge. So, yeah.
Fabulous.
Started the ribbing. Got about another inch of that ribbing to go, and then I will start the sleeves. Hopefully, once I get to the sleeves, I will have more time and I will be able to zoom those off the needle. But since I haven't had that much time, I've just been working on portable things. So I have my socks that I thought, like, since I had just cast them on and the first one took 2 years, I wouldn't get through very far, but I am just about a few stripes from doing the heel. So I'm excited that as soon as I can get to the start of the heel there. Yep, just two more, maybe one more. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
But it's getting to the point where I don't feel like I could take it with me anymore, because it's gonna have to do the heel soon. So I need something simple. So I'll bring the sweater again, where it's just ribbing, and I know I have to keep going on it, because sometimes it's not about portability; it's about ease.
Yep.
Right. What can I do quickly and put down without anybody, having to take notes or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
And like, oh my gosh, this is where I stopped.
I get it. Makes sense to me.
Yep. And then tonight, because I was like, hey, this is the last week of April, and I have not done my hex yet. Oh, great. And I pull it out and I pull all of the needles out. Oh, ruh-roh.
But it's
the hex for the Persian Dreams KL, and this is number 4. It's April, so this is number 4. Fun! And I know that this won't take very long. I had just started this tonight. I think I've got a few more rows and I get to switch colors, and then a little zoom. I'm getting pretty close to having to put it on 4 needles or the circular. I'm not quite to circular yet, I don't think. So I might just throw it on 4s here, and then, yeah, I'm excited. Color work is fun.
Mm-hmm.
But that is all that is fit to be shown. I left everything else at home. I will restart working on my lovely Louette linen sweater, because, like I said, I was right at the armpits just about. So hopefully next time I bring that to show, it will have a lot done.
I am working on the second pair of socks. As Amy mentioned, it is starting to become Adventure Walk sock time. And I have been using my Bink Waffle Adventure Walk sock pouch that Miss Amber gave me, so it's been getting a lot of use. I also kind of, the documentarian in me, I don't know that I'll get it laminated or anything, but I'm definitely going to put April of 2016 on here, so someday we can compare it to its foot and be like, remember when I knit you a sock so and it looks like this?
But the real sock wouldn't do. Or you think he's just going to wear them to threads?
That too.
Okay. But you can write the date on.
Yeah, maybe the socks I'll start burying in the woods when they're done.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? And then again,
imagining a field of socks that grow from the.
You never know what's going to happen when you bury your knitting. And then, as again, the brief respite from retreat prep at YarnOver, I got to the bottom of my Irish coffee. I am absolutely in love with it. Look at that.
Deserves singing.
It
Lots
does.
and lots of singing.
Look at that. It's just the color of my heart.
Yes, it's very Megan.
It's all of the colors that I love wrapped into a ball. I'm gonna admit to being kind of not detail oriented in some of my yarn purchases. So I had knit something fairly early on with Malabrigo's single ply worsted, and I think I attributed all of the single ply pilly not great qualities to all Malabrigo yarns, because I've never knit with Rios and I absolutely love it. It's like super squishy and fantastic. And I've heard other people say that it wears really well in garments and isn't like overly pilly. So I think I just went Malabrigo and attributed single plyness type qualities to all Malabrigo. So I'm super happy with this Rio.
Okay. I thought you would knit with Finito and other things.
No, I bought it.
Okay. And okay.
Again, mental
Well,
block.
I've knit with Rios since then, since your pilliness.
Well, it
didn't matter.
It wanted me. But I knit it to sort of tunic length. I don't know. I didn't want it to be like have to have butt shaping. But and I'm sure it will grow. It's a nice length. Twirl. And it just needs some sleeves. I think I'll probably do half sleeves. I don't want to do like bracelet, or is this considered, no, 3/4 is down here, right? Bracelet's more here. So like half sleeves so that you can wear it. But it just, I think I was pleasantly surprised with how the pattern still really shines through all of the variegation. As well as at some point I was kind of concerned about like it was getting a little dark in places, but then it just kind of evened out. So that is Irish Coffee by Thea Coleman and Malabrigo Rios in the Indecita. Okay. And that is work in progress because it needs to have the sleeves picked up. I provisionally bound off the sleeves, which is basically instead of putting it aside on spare yarn, you just bind off with a different color because I feel like it locks the stitches in place. And yeah, those are my 2 works in progress that are fit to be shown.
Awesome sauce.
Alright. Sure.
What else? Enabling?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to do enabling first or review first?
Decisions. No, we could do review.
Okay. So as we mentioned, I'm just going to leave my work in progress on. Just rock it with the sleeves. Dragonfly Fibers has their new masterpiece knits. It's a, as it says, a modern collection. So it's using a lot of their super bright, super awesome yarns. Let's see if I can find a good without completely mangling the book. But it's got a sock, it's got the tunic, it's got a pullover, it's got, I think this is a cardigan, some mitts, like a cowl / bolero, a scarf, and another like large
like a ponchette. It's a little poncho / cowl.
Yeah. But that all kind of puts their beautiful yarn at front and center. So I think that this Blue Morning Glories, I'm going to totally butcher this name, Fatima Hins, kind of looks like the, so a very large cabled section down the middle, and a wide-necked raglan. I think this kind of looks like is it the Camilla? Isn't that a baby piece that has a really large, I can't remember what kind of name. But this uses their rustic silk noil And I have some of that, actually, in like a pumpkin color. Yeah. And it's got rolled edges, which I think is kind of a more current thing. I may be a little biased because the beach fleece has some rolled edges as well. But it looks, I think it draws, it's very slimming because it's got that center motif, and then the neckline has an interesting shape to it. I'm always drawn to the garments and anything that we review. So what else? The socks have a really interesting, the Picasso socks by that same person have a very interesting cable that goes here. Let's see if I can find a better picture to show folks, but you're probably going and looking on the internet. It's probably going to be your best bet.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to see.
But I think it deals with the super variegatedness of the yarn.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can still see that cable. And then there's another pair of socks in here that are Cleese knees, so they're knee highs. I really like that colorway. Fire in the Evening is the colorway, and that's by Daniela Nee. It's part of the Magic Square series. I'm not familiar with that. It's got bubbles and stockinette to create movement. So there's that. The hat, the golden landscape mitts, and then there's a golden landscape hat, I believe, as well. Yep. Have kind of like in Dr. Seussian tree looking type. What were those? Not thneeds. They make them out of the thneed. They make the thneeds out of them.
I don't remember.
Something trees. It's not Oompa trees. It's the something.
Like poofs.
Yes. The poofy trees. But again, a very nice pairing with the yarn, which is Tree of Life is the colorway. Oh, that's really pretty. Yellows and oranges and greens. The name of the colorway is very inspiring as well, Tree of Life. I know somebody who likes trees. And the mitt hands have a really cool detail of it transitioning from pearl to stockinette. See that? Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like it. Keep on dropping things out. You liked so I just did the hat and mitts, the cowl, the Marilyn in Color by Tanis Gray. And this has got a bunch of Warhol's Marilyn's lips, Marilyn's hair, inspired by Andy Warhol's iconic silkscreen paintings done in 1967 after his famous depict of Marilyn Monroe. So, very bright colors, textured stitches, eyelets.
I thought it was a good marriage of pattern and yarn and colors.
Dropping cards out. Should have just done that in the first place. And then there is the Sugar Shack tunic, which is what we have the yarn for. Yep. So it's by Ann Weaver. It has a plunging neckline in the back, tunic length, and then it's a domain sleeve. But I believe it says here that it's worked contiguously, which is interesting. It's an interesting design detail. I love me some contiguous sleeves. Yep. Unapologetic, daring, bold, exuberant. So they're trying to capture the spirit of the painting and showcase the yarn. So Sugar Shack is Ernie Barnes's painting, Sugar Shack. Let's see the front. So another V. This might be one that if you were feeling ooh la la, you could wear a shirt underneath it and flip around that V and have a very plunging neckline. You don't think you would plunge the neckline? Have you been watching The Voice at all?
Christina Aguilera.
We could totally put Christina Aguilera in that, and she could totally show off some cleavage. So there's the back detail. I think it's got either like an I-cord edging or some sort of rolled edging around that V in the back and the V in the front. And I think it just has kind of a flipped up hem, but I think it's a really cool, I mean, it really showcases the yarn. Like you really see all of the yarn. And I don't know, I didn't read up on whether or not they highly recommend alternating skeins or not. It looks like it just let
well, I mean,
yeah,
from what I'm seeing, it just looks like they let it go.
Just let it be. Let it go. Let it go. And so yeah, the largest size on here is a 48, and that takes 6 skeins. So if you are the winner and you are the 48 bust, you would end up making it a little shorter, or maybe some short sleeves.
Shorter sleeves, yeah. Maybe a little shorter sleeves.
Yep. So we've got 5 fantabulous skeins, and I think the prompt for that giveaway will be what other.
Go ahead. I was going to say what other masterpieces you would be inspired, like what you would like to see inspiration from.
Yeah. Yes. Good one.
Yeah.
That's better than what was going to come out of my mouth.
And link pictures. We love pictures.
Yes. Absolutely love pictures. There's also a sheaves.
Yeah, this was the Punchette
Yep.
cowl.
So it's an oversized cowl and a demure cape.
Oh, cape. Yes,
designed to
that's the
sit
right
neatly
word.
on your shoulders and provide easy to wear warmth. So yeah, very cool kind of combo. Again, very like you would probably look at this colorway in the skeins. The colorway, which is also very cool to be able to say, is exactly. I don't have the colorway on this one, I guess.
Is it sheaves?
The sheaf size? I don't know. If you looked at it in the skein, you wouldn't think that it would knit up quite as, that you would be able to see all of these intricate details. So there's a cable, and there's kind of a lace motif that the cable opens up into. It's very pretty. It's very striking.
So you mad about Matisse? Matisse?
Pulling from Matisse's bold cutout period, the piece incorporates brilliant variegation of the yarn. Indeed it does. The sheaf.
The sheaf.
It must be the Matisse.
Totally. Oh, yes.
The Matisse thing. So I can't remember if I held that up. And then the last one that I wanted to make sure to mention, well, the laundress, is that how you would say that? The laundress is a open front cardigan, hip length for lounging out. I'm not seeing where
The laundress
is Henry Henri de Toulouse-Larocque. I don't know. I'm not saying that correctly.
The laundress.
Yes, is the painting. And it's an open front with a...
I actually think I have it in my head, the painting, just based on the colorway.
Yeah, yeah. Very pretty.
I don't know which one that is.
A turned... Well, it looks like you're supposed to turn the sleeve. And I guess I really like that you can see kind of some of the striping, and then it works the other way with that with the front bands. So that one's pretty, and then the last one is the cowl that's on the front. Nope, there's a hat that maybe uses a similar colorway. Yes, the laundress hat. And I really like the way that the two colors work together on the modern lattice, inspired by Clee's Fire in the Evening. And I bet Fire in the Evening is the colorway, yep. So very cool that one side is kind of a broken up by the solid, and then the inside is just variegated. So, yes, let us know about other masterpieces that you would love to see translated into knits. If you have any idea of how that you would love to see it translated into knits, you could include that as well. And thank you to Dragonfly Fibers for sending that to us. That's a very awesome prize pack right there. Yarn and book. Enough to knit yourself your own Sugar Shack. Sugar Shack.
Super tunic.
Super tunic. Heading on down to the Sugar Shack, baby.
I don't think
that's the song. I know, that's the song that's in my head though when I say
the Sugar Shack.
Bang, bang on the door.
So I guess I wanted to talk a little bit about my YarnOver purchases. So I have out of Winona, Minnesota, Three Sisters Farm and Fiber. And this is 120 yards of hand spun. Cool. Jewel of the Nile, 100% merino. It's probably going to be a hat or a stuffy. I like the colors a lot. I think it's going to have to be a hat.
It's very pretty.
And I don't know, couldn't let it go. It was $18 hand spun. It's very pretty, very squishy, very well done.
Yeah.
So, Three Sisters, like that one. And then there was obviously the sheep kit, but I didn't bring that. And then, you picked up one too. They're all so a little bit different, right? I think I got one that was very muted. It didn't have as much of the reds in it, and it was very, the greens are very soft. Of the YarnOver 2016 colorway from Dreams and Fiber. So Megan got one too.
Yes, and they were all they were all very unique.
Yeah, see, yours seems so bright, and I think I've got a muted one.
I see similarities. I can see.
Oh no, it's definitely the same colorway, but it's like, this was the dye that kind of took the dark overwash a little bit more than the others.
And I was looking at contrasty because I'm still in that ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk mode with that'd be a good pincha. Oh, that'd be a good pincha.
Yeah.
So this would be a good pincha. But yeah, I think I really like her merino nylon base. I think it's really soft and just really pretty dyed. To me, it's very fun to think that you and Karen and I all have the same colorway, but that it would be still quite unique still, right?
Yes. And when I was thinking of making plain socks, I was actually thinking of the Zombie 2015 colorway that I have in my stash from Dreams and Fiber as the one that I would most likely ball up right now in my mind. But of course I don't have time, so I'm not going to do that. But in my mind, that's the one that's kind of winning.
Her dream knitting.
The other one would be from Spartakit Dyes. So one of the two. One of my Gilmore Girl colorways or that colorway. Just dreaming.
Yeah. I pre-YarnOver went and picked up a t-shirt at Three Kittens Needlecraft because they had posted on Instagram that they had a new batch in. So I wanted to get this at the yarn chop hop that they had, and I didn't get there in time. They were closed on that Sunday that I was up there. So it just says Minnesota Knit, and I think it's very unique. And then it's got their logo, Three Kittens Needle Arts. Did I say Needlecraft or Needle Arts?
I don't recall
on it, but yep, Minnesota.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'd like to see some other states in knitted form.
Yeah, represent.
And then, as I said, I kind of, sorry Max, I'm removing your pillow here. I did some pre-ZK shopping for the vendors that were there, and then this was at Stephen B. I loved it because it could be immediately worn as a scarf. I also then I loved the colors. I love
sparkle in that pink is just
that
crazy.
Is what killed me. So I was like, oh, I really love these colors. And then I was like, oh, I really love the presentation. I could just have this sitting out and it could be like art. And then I was like, oh, but then like it's just deconstructed, right? So the pinks are in there, and the greens are in there, and the blues are in there. And this is 4 skeins split in 2. So it's 2 full skeins. But then yes, the thing that just totally sent me over the edge was like, look at the speckle on that thing. Like I just couldn't go.
It's very even in a lot of them. Like, yes. I don't know if you're going to be able to capture it. It's just really
I
cool.
couldn't. When I took the picture, I couldn't. But yeah, so you've got a variegated, you've got a solid, you've got a bright solid, a darker solid, and then the speckle. And this is from 3 Irish Girls that they dyed up for them. And I believe it was for a spotted rays kit, a ginormous Stephen West shawl. Is that spotted rays? Spotted something.
Yeah, dotted rays.
Dotted rays. There we go.
Yes. Nailed it.
Nailed it. So yeah, it's
so like you said, how many skeins?
It's 4. It's 4 skeins.
4 skeins.
So
okay.
It's the half of the variegated, half of the
speckle,
half of the green, half of the.
So they're 50 gram.
Yep.
Sections.
Yep. Of their Adorn Luxe base, I believe.
Yes. The new base. No, that is nice. That's really cute.
I liked it. And somebody was like, what are you going to do with it? And I was like, I
have no idea.
Love it. Take it home and pet it and love the speckle on it and wear it around my neck and take a picture with Stephen while I've got it around my neck. And good job, 3 Irish Girls. You made me happy.
It's beautiful. One of the things that I had pre-bought in my mind was Darn It Anyway had a whole table of 3 Irish Girls that was really pretty. Now, will they have that by the retreat time? I don't know, but
they're the shop.
Yeah, they're going to have a pop-up shop during the beer crawl. So when we're at the brewery, she'll have a pop-up shop set up. Tons of lovely kits. There was definitely a kit there that I wanted as well, from Quince & Co. And then, so I pre-bought that in my mind, and then there was a mode knit kit that I pre-bought in my mind as well. And then Lene had the new Gritting Gargle, had the new BFL silk lace. So nice. There was a beautiful reddish color, and then there was also like an aqua that was really pretty as well. Not together, I didn't want them together, but separately I wanted them.
No mingling of the BFL.
No. And then trying to think of who else. Oh, Roundabout Yarns had really, really interesting sock blanks.
Yes, and she said she was going to be great.
Yeah, she should have more of those because I was very tempted to buy one, and I was like, wait a minute, no, I want to buy it at the retreat, and yeah. So there's one that I really liked, so I should probably message her really quickly and say, have more that look like the one that look like this. I didn't take a picture, so I can't even explain it. But,
yeah.
Super, super cool. And if I forgot anybody, I mean, I'm sure that I had pre-shopped at every booth that was going to be at her.
Knit Circus had their gradient stripes in full effect.
Oh, Jeanette's mini wall. She's got like a wall of mini skeins. Well, it's a wall. It's a small wall, but it's a wall of them. I was going to definitely shop that.
So much work.
I know. It's a lot of work. And they're very beautifully lined up, and it's very hard not to want to buy one of everything. But definitely not going to do that. But I'm going to come up with she's got so many. It's hundreds. Like, it would be a lot of money to buy one of everything.
Yes. Yeah. When you can't knit, shop. You dream about.
Well, dream, yes.
When you can't knit, in your stash and shopping, yes. Shopping's really easy. Cha-ching! But yeah, Corey said that if I can't think of anything to do with it by Christmas, I could just give it to her as a Christmas gift. I was like, see, I'm Christmas shopping. See, that's what I'm really doing. Isn't she such a good friend?
Yeah.
All right. Purchases. ZK. It's getting reels for reels. look for, I don't know if it's going to go out this week yet because I still need to get into contact with all the teachers, but the classes, descriptions, times, and sign up date will be announced soonly. If not, probably within the next 10 days. How about that for a stretch goal?
Okay, stretch goal. 10 days.
By May 1st, hopefully.
And then, the wait list is moving. So if you're on it, keep an eye out. If maybe you're on it and you want to see where you are on the list, go do that really quick. There's been a lot of movement. And
there's a link to that list on the page where you signed up for it.
Yes. So you can go back to it and check where you are.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been moving. People have been really decisive. They're either coming or not coming. So it's been moving along.
When you've offered them a spot off of the wait list.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then trying to think if there was anything else. We got a lot of
we're super excited.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of wonderful things that we've got planned and up our sleeves for folks. And I'm excited about all the classes. 5K, the cutoff was the 22nd, but I bought enough swag for a couple of spots, and I think those have all gotten snagged since then. So the 5K is full.
Done.
The beer crawl is done. The t-shirts will be being mailed out here in May.
Yep, that pre-order passed on Friday.
The 22nd. And super exciting.
Yep.
Trying not to let the daily countdown freak me out.
Yeah.
I'm excited, but there's still a lot to be done.
Yes, and everything that I crossed off the list is just
replaced with 5 more things?
Yeah. You didn't need to say that. I was going to say it feels good, but then you're right. It's replaced by 5 more things because we're at that mode, right? Mm-hmm. You're at that mode where every little thing happens and there's 5 more to follow it.
But rest assured, the things, they will be done.
Yeah. Yes. And I think that my work is going the same way. Everything I cross off the list, there's 5 more to do, so I'm just...
That's home life for me, too. Too many birthdays and too many things to do at home. Yeah.
You're busy. I'm in the enjoyment phase, because I get my birthday and Mother's Day. But...
What must that be like?
I know. Well, I had the crazy around Christmas.
Well, I always share Mother's Day with my husband's birthday, so... kind of like the cancel out, just like my birthday and Christmas.
Well, I should have married somebody else, I guess.
I'm sorry, I can't marry you. Your birthday is too close to Mother's Day for our hypothetical children later in life. Yeah, that wouldn't fly.
Well, what are you going to do about it, right?
Nothing. Sit here and tell my friend and you poor people still listening about it.
All right. Bye.
Bye, Uvta.